So Novocaine is an awesome action comedy movie from the forever delightful Jack Quaid, and in this movie he is really charming, really endearing, and I just feel like in general Jack Quaid plays these really bashful, somewhat slightly awkward guys so well. And even though this movie truly does feel like a streaming film rather than a theatrical one, I think there's so much fun to be had, especially as Nathan really does get himself unintentionally involved in some truly awkward and crazy predicaments. And some of them are actually pretty excruciating to watch, and you can just tell that all of the people behind the scenes were just brainstorming all of the crazy scenarios that they can get Nathan involved with based upon his super ability. But that being said, what his ability doesn't have is the super healing factor like Wolverine does. So with Wolverine, one of the key reasons that he is able to withstand so much damage is that his body will very quickly heal itself, whereas with Novocaine, his body will never do that. So even though Nathan doesn't feel the agony himself, he is putting his body through so much trauma across this entire movie, and I'm really glad that they didn't ignore that and they really did embrace it right at the end. I thought it's funny how this movie somewhat starts a little bit like the first episode of You, in terms of it starting off as a bit of a rom-com and then suddenly turning into something entirely different. And on that point, I really do feel like along with these characters, the audience are absolutely shocked when suddenly all of these robbers are taking over the bank and things really do take a very fatal turn. So now let's look at all of the main players. So I feel like Jack Quaid, he really is on a roll, isn't he? As he very recently was in Companion, which was absolutely awesome. I feel like he's had the most success from all of the other actors in The Boys, and like I said, it's truly well deserved, and you can really feel how much of a star he is as he has so much star presence. And even though this guy isn't like the jock or a super slick, I feel like he's still got so much charisma, and I feel like Jack Quaid is just such a likable guy, and in turn all of his characters are really likable too. And I thought it was absolutely hilarious how he was dealing with certain situations. For example, he's hanging upside down and is speaking to the brother of one of the bank robbers that he has killed unintentionally, of course. And then it was equally hilarious when he is trying to get the surname of one of the other bank robbers from this big tattoo guy. And I feel like one of the messages and takeaways that this character fully personifies is that love really does make you do some crazy things. And speaking of love, I feel like Amber Midthunder did a really good job. Of course, we know her very famously from Prey and also from the underrated Legion series, and she is kidnapped by the bank robbers, and I just love the twist with this character. I feel like it's super unexpected and super clever at the same time. We've then got Nicholson, the second Nepo baby within this cast. I do feel like he overacts a little bit in certain stages, but along with all of his other bank robber friends, you can tell that these guys are super twisted, and they always say that actors love playing villains more than heroes, and you can really see that with this guy as he is just so sadistic, and all of the bank robbers just put poor Nathan through his paces left, right and centre. But from an acting perspective, I feel like Nicholson and all of his teammates do actually do a good job in terms of playing somebody that you absolutely hate. And then we've got Batalon very famously playing Ned in all of the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, and he is Nathan's internet gamer friend, and he really does come through for him in this film. He's a little bit annoying when he's at the back of the police car, but nonetheless I feel like he really does save the day for Nathan. So overall, even though this movie definitely does feel like more of a streaming film, and even though it is also really excruciating to watch at points, I do actually think that it's a really great new addition to the action comedy genre, as it really does bring something fresh and new to it, which is really impressive. And so for all of those reasons, I'm going to give Novocaine a solid 6.5 out of 10. And on that point, I do actually think it's really clever how they explain where the Novocaine name actually came from. But as far as Novocaine the movie is concerned, I'd love to hear what you thought of it, so let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.